Hey guys, Rob here, and today join me for part 6 of how to build the Pocher Lamborghini Huracan. Now, if you watched the last episode, part 5, you will have seen that I got all the interior in the body, all the rest of the engine, rear suspension on, and the subframe bolted to the main section of the body. So we're going to keep moving forward today on the build, and we're going towards the front of the model this time. So we are up to step 19, where we're going to start to assemble the front subframe, all the differential, the front pieces that go into this front subframe. Then we're going to put the front suspension together and get all that onto the subframe. So we're going to definitely complete all the front subframe section, and then hopefully a couple more steps and we should be able to get it actually bolted onto the front of the body as well. So pretty keen to get this model finished now. So we're going to just keep pushing through and basically keep moving and try and get this big model car, this big Huracan model, with a full front subframe on. So once we get to that stage, it's pretty much just hanging body panels and pretty close to the end. So what we'll do, we'll go back and do a bit of time lapse here, and we're going to get this front subframe together. Okay, so that's all of those steps 19 done, which is the front subframe. What can I say about this? I think the detail is pretty good. Unfortunately, you're not going to see hardly any of it, like including the battery with the battery decal labels on there. But for those that don't know much about how cars are built, these kits are a great educational tool as well, just to see how many components are in there, like the steering rack and the differential and parts of the electrical system. But that's it for that section there. So hoses are glued on. I'm just going to let those dry for a little bit, and we're going to move on to the next stage, which is step 20. Now this is the front suspension and hub area. So we're going to get these bits done now, and then they will bolt onto the front subframe. So we'll just put this off to the side to dry, and we'll start putting the front suspension together. Okay, so I just thought I'd give you a little update here. I found another problem with this kit. So before the actual suspension arms get screwed on here, there's a little recess here in the top for the pins on the shock absorber. Now, this doesn't actually fit into that slot. So you can see here, the slot is quite deep, but the suspension, the top of the shock absorber does not fit in there. So I'm going to have to maybe just try and file some of the paint off these shock absorber pins so that they fit into that recess, because if they don't fit in the recess, the clamp plate that goes on there is just not going to hold it in there. The screws aren't going to be long enough and it may come apart when the model's finished. So another little issue there I found. So yeah, as I said, just going to file a little bit of paint off the pins on this shock absorber to make sure that it fits into that location. Okay, so other than what I mentioned about filing some off the sides of the pins for the shock absorbers to fit into the top mounts, everything else pretty much went together as planned. Now the steering rack actually has a little bracket already attached to it, so that has to be unscrewed to slip over the ball joint, and then that little bracket goes back on. But other than that, that is all the front suspension attached to the front subframe. Now I'm sure as we go along there's actually some links for the sway bars here, yeah, we'll keep moving forward and getting these other bits and pieces done, and then we're going to move forward and attach all the radiators and fans to the body also, and then it will be time to screw it to the body. So let's just keep moving forward on this step here and get these other pieces in the model. Okay, so that is all the front section done with all the radiators in positions with these extra little subframes. Now again, I did use my metal tap, my screw tap, to clean out all the thread holes, which was a very good decision. And yeah, pretty much as you saw, I fitted the radiators and then I fitted the hoses after that. I felt that that was just an easier way to tackle that part of the assembly. You can get to them and glue them into position, the hoses, and that way you can pretty much follow the instructions. So we're going to move on. We're just about to bolt this to the main body section. I've just got a couple of hoses to fit, which run down the center of the car, and a drive shaft, and then we can pretty much bolt it to the front of the body. So let's get this bolted to the body. Okay, so I actually did not film that section because I started to, and this took around 5 or 6 attempts to get this front frame section onto the body. Now the biggest problem I had was actually trying to line up the steering linkage, which is actually buried deep down inside here, and the trying to line those two shafts up and put the screw in extremely difficult while you're trying to actually push this front section up and attach it to the body. Now these front brackets here, I actually screwed those to the body first, as it would be pretty hard to get a screwdriver from underneath up into there without damaging the suspension arms. So yeah, that was quite a challenge. The drive shaft simply went in underneath. That was not a big deal, not even worth filming that one, but that is the biggest concern, just to get the steering linkage hooked up, which is buried in there. Now you can actually get a screwdriver in there, but you know, I tried to use my magnifier and my put my glasses on to try and see, but it's basically buried deep inside there where I'm pointing that screwdriver now. So yeah, not the easiest thing to connect up, to be honest. The Aventador Roadster that I built was much easier from memory. I think I got that first time, but yeah, this one a little bit more difficult to line that up and then screw all the front on. But anyway, that is the front section on the model anyway. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's episode, part 6 of how to build the Pocher Lamborghini Huracan. I've had a bit of a look through the instruction booklet, and next thing is to start fitting the windows to the body shell, then completing the doors, headlights, front section and the rear section of the body. And then all we've got to do after that is brakes or brake discs and rims and tires, and then this model should be just about done. So I'm going to call this episode here. The last couple have been pretty long, so we'll keep this one relatively short. It'll still be close to an hour, I'm sure, but yeah, make sure you stay tuned for part 7, and that may be finishing the model off. Now there's one thing I do want to do, and that is to make a custom rear wing like this. Well, not exactly that same style, but I want to make a DMC style rear wing to go on this model, so I will include that in the next episode if that is the last one, or maybe do that as a separate little tutorial video. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the progress of this Huracan build. I am enjoying the way it's coming together, and yeah, we can wrap this one up pretty soon. So if you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? Don't forget to smash that like button, and don't forget to click the notification bell also. That way you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.